Dan here with Franklin Armory. We designed Reformation to be the ultimate home defense weapon. It gives you rifle caliber power and a shoulder-fired, short form factor while significantly reducing overpenetration, which is a major factor in close quarter engagements. This highly effective ballistic combination is due to Reformation's NRS barrel, which stands for not a rifle or shotgun. This is also the reason why Reformation is not regulated by the NFA in any way. Instead of traditional rifling, which imparts spin on a projectile for long-range stability, Reformation's NRS barrel features patented straight-cut lands and grooves that produce an inherent yawing or tumbling effect on fired projectiles. This distinctive design classifies Reformation as neither a rifle nor a shotgun, but rather just as a firearm that can be transferred and purchased through your FFL simply on a Form 4473. Make no mistake, Reformation is highly accurate at close quarter engagement distances. It will punch 2-inch groups consistently at 50 yards, making Reformation a compelling solution for any home defense environment. But what about over-penetration? Let's head out to the range and see how Reformation RS7 and RS11 shooting 5.56 NATO FMJs through NRS barrels stack up against their 7.5-inch and an 11.5-inch SBR counterparts with traditional rifling. First up is an 11.5-inch SBR with traditional rifling. After its initial entry from approximately 10 feet away, the spin-stabilized projectile travels through nearly every panel in our setup, stopping just short of penetrating the 22nd panel. Next, we compare Reformation RS11. Here, we see our entry point with a slight yaw angle. The round then continues to tumble and expend its energy, coming to rest just before penetrating the 18th panel. RS11 bests its 11.5-inch traditionally rifled counterpart by 4 panels. Next, let's see how these 7.5-inch barrel configurations compare. First up is the SBR with traditional rifling. We have our entry point here. The bullet begins to travel just as its 11.5-inch counterparts did, but with a bit less velocity given the shorter barrel length. Eventually, it begins to slow and falls short of punching through the 19th panel. Now, let's see how Reformation RS7 does. Here, we see a nice yawing projectile entry point. The round then travels until coming to a stop by partially sticking into the 15th panel. Similar to the RS11 testing, we see the RS7 penetrating 4 fewer panels than its 7.5-inch traditionally rifled SBR counterpart. As our testing results show, the reduced ballistic coefficient of yawing projectiles fired through Reformation provide 2 major advantages over spin-stabilized projectiles fired through traditional rifles. First and foremost, Reformation-fired rounds will produce a key-holding effect upon impact, dumping significantly more power into your initially intended target, which is critical for efficiently neutralizing threats in self and home defense situations. Second, and just as important, that tumbling or yawing projectile fired from Reformation will exhaust its energy more quickly and over a shorter distance than a spin-stabilized projectile. This amounts to a substantial reduction in overpenetration by an average of 20%. To put this into perspective, that's 20% fewer rooms for missed shots to travel through. That's 20% less of a chance of errant rounds reaching your neighbor's house. And for anyone familiar with the ballistics performance of 9mm and slugs, that's way less overpenetration than a typical handgun or shotgun. Yet, Reformation gives you more control, velocity, and power. While no defensive engagement can be completely free of potential pitfalls, Reformation redefines the standard for an optimal home defense weapon by maximizing intended threat-stopping power and reducing unintended overpenetration. Two advantages that for both your family and your neighbors will help them sleep a little bit more comfortable at night.